Hello, good morning. Thank you for stopping by on my channel. This morning we woke up to news of two things. One, that the people of Gabon are rejoicing. Both the military and the civilians are all rejoicing. And then two, why are they rejoicing? Because the military has ousted the president of Gabon. Now, this president has been ruling that country from 2009 till date. And before now, his father has been ruling from 1967 to 2009. The man stepped aside. He's so incapacitated and old, and if not because he was incapacitated, that man would have stayed in power until something happened to him. As in, there are Gabonese who from the time they were born till today, and I think they will be in the majority, where the only president they know has been from Ali Bongo's family. Just imagine. So the people have been rejoicing about the coup d'etat, and the reason that the military gave is simple: that the election was severely flawed and does not represent the will of the people. So they feel like out of patriotism they have to come up and do something. You would think that if it was the will of the people that was expressed in the results of the election, then people would have been complaining. But the entire streets of Gabon at the moment has been broken out in jubilation. People are dancing because they are tired of Ali Bongo and his family, and they don't want another stooge. Now think about this thing: from Mali to Guinea-Bissau to all these countries that have been going about with coups. The latest of them was Niger Republic, and everybody, all Western powers, were worried because of uranium. Not so much because of the people there, but because of uranium. Okay, did you notice something about it? What I noticed is that all these coups are from Francophone West Africa. Essentially, it means that, to me, if you ask me, I would tell you that something is wrong with the democratic structures and the governance structures that France left behind in its colonial territories. It is as a result of so much malgovernance and so much exploitation that France oversaw and superintended, and that is the reason why these places, any territory that was formerly governed by France, is more likely to experience all sorts of abuse of governance than you would see in Anglophone West Africa, for example. And I understand a lot of Nigerians are going on and on that Nigeria is next. Nigeria is not next. It is not going to. I do not welcome any form of military intervention in Nigeria, or let us try as much as possible to strengthen the democratic institutions we have. The reason why it is easier for a coup to happen in a francophone country than in an anglophone country is because, yes, all of us have the problem of weak institutions, but institutions are much weaker in francophone countries. Governance infrastructure are much weaker in francophone countries. Francophone countries are poorer, and frankly speaking, they have no independence. Because up till now, for all francophone countries, there's a context within which I understand that up to 50 or 70% of their foreign reserve has to be stored in the central bank of France. They don't even have financial independence. Everybody is there to exploit, and by exploit I mean France is there to continually exploit these territories. So up till today they have no independence. There's a limit to how far you can take advantage of people. There's a limit to how far you can continually impoverish people with your aid, with all sorts of environmental degradation because you're looking for uranium. Africans do not eat uranium. All they wanted was to just live in peace, and that is all. So that was a very bad precedent that France set, but I think that France had it coming as their colonial masters. And the way they were flexing muscles when the one in Niger happened, say you're going to fight in Mali, you're going to fight in Burkina Faso, you're going to fight here, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Who are you going to fight now in the whole of your former colonial territories? I think this, for me, this should be a time for stock taking for both France and its former colonies. And then for those of us who are in Anglophone Africa or in other parts of Africa, let us not welcome this thing. I don't want to welcome it because I don't want it to start happening in Nigeria. I'm not ready to live under military rule right now at all. So I think that it's a time for Francophone Africa, for France and its former colonies, to have a sit down as equals, not as big brother and small brother, or master servant, or colonialists and former colonists. You have to treat these people the way they really are, and whatever deals they want, you must be willing to concede, because frankly speaking, France has everything to lose. You cannot send your military all over West Africa. It's only a matter of time before you have to loosen the strings. And for those of us who are in Africa, in Nigeria, Ghana, or whatever, that you are laughing or you are saying Nigeria is next. Nigeria is not next, though. I beg. Please, then let us also understand something. Guys, you cannot rule people against their wish. How can you be in power since 1967? Now your papa house. I said, seriously, what exactly is the problem with African leaders? What is so sweet about government houses and Aso Rock villas or presidential villas that African leaders feel like when you enter, you must stay at all costs? Somebody has to drag you out. But then again, anytime they are organizing all these their sham of elections that do not represent the will of the people, France is always there to supervise. They always send all sorts of observers, and you watch the will of the people being subverted, and then you think that your colonies are not going to come and bring this kind of shame to you. Of course not. So if you are listening to me, all these people who think that we should continually pander to the West, a time will come when Africa is going to be truly independent. There are young people who will not book any prisoners. They are not interested in France. They just want to build their own country. Then when you come and undermine African countries, you bring the kind of poverty that nobody has ever seen. These people are looking for a better life in your countries. You go and maltreat them there again. Look at Africans crossing the Mediterranean but on foot, trekking across the Sahara just because they want a better life that could have been gotten here had it not been because the people who were ruling their countries are stooges to the West. Let us have a rethink about this at all. Anyway, those of you who are in Nigeria, the only country that I feel like they should tie their belts very, very well is Cameroon, who have been, Paul Biya should just basically sit up, and the Cameroonians should sit up as well, because frankly speaking, this wind of change, I hope it becomes better. But how we can do to make it better is, whether Francophone or Anglophone West Africa, we must strengthen democratic institutions, and then the life of the people must be better. There's nothing wrong with people being rich. Okay, why is it that the same royal family has been ruling England from time immemorial, but up till today these people are still fiercely loyal to their king, and then before now their queen? It's because there is good governance there, and that is the difference. So if Ali Bongo and his family wants to stay till 2100, if you deliver good governance, if you deliver services, give people something to look up to in return for patriotism, I don't think that's too much to ask for. As long as the people, you cannot rule people against their wish. That is the message I have for African leaders, that you cannot rule people against their wish. No matter what you do, the day that the cup gets full, it's going to happen like that, whether Anglophone or West Africa. I hope I've made some sense. Thank you so much for sticking by me. My name is Ajala, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, it would be a nice idea to subscribe. Don't you think so? See you all later. Bye bye.